Welcome to the Peace and Christian Unity Conference. We're glad that all of you are here. I'm especially pleased because it's important for us to focus not just on Christian unity, but on the issue of peace. Peace is at the heart of our faith. Words like tolerance, dialogue, understanding are important words. They have power in and of themselves. Jesus taught us what it meant to walk with the least of these, our brothers and sisters, on planet Earth. He taught us to love the stranger. He taught us how to care for the poor. There are more than 2,000 verses in the Old and New Testament that remind us that God cares about the poor. My hope is that as we face the next 100 years over the course of not only our nation's history, but the world's future, that we will work to end the poverty that kills. We can only do that if we put aside our military weapons and work collegially, spiritually, praying and working for peace. As you travel the world, you realize that Christianity is only a small portion of the world's religious community. We're joined by our Jewish and Muslim and Hindu and other religious traditions. And yet, central to all of them is the golden rule. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you, and love God. I think the golden rule is what we should emphasize as we think about the opportunity that this conference offers us. How do we love God and love fellow men and women? How do we care about each other? The ecumenical movement is a Christian movement bringing Christian faiths together, Protestant, Orthodox, Roman Catholic, and we join with the interfaith community all over the world, seeking to right the wrongs and care for those that are voiceless in our society. For the past 20 years, Vassula Ryden has traveled the world seeking peace and working for Christian unity. She's worked with ecumenical organizations from Central and South America, Asia, throughout the world to seek understanding, dialogue, and help people understand the real meaning of Christianity. This is an important time. If we're going to face the challenges of global warming, of the care and stewardship of this fragile planet we call Earth, we're going to need to hear voices like Vassula's. We live in a world that's different than the world we were born into. And God's calling us to be the disciples and the prophets of this time. And the good news is that God chooses average, ordinary, common people to do the extraordinary. I met Dr. Martin Luther King just 5 weeks before he was assassinated. I know a lot about Dr. King, but here's something Dr. King said. He said, "You and I will have to repent in this generation, not merely for the hateful words and actions of bad people, but for the appalling silence of good people." As you go through the process of this conference, I want to tell you a story. A couple of years ago, I was riding in a taxi cab in New York, and the driver was talking about the challenges that we face of war and peace and the struggles of poor people. And he leaned over the back of the seat and looked at me and he said, "Mister," he said, "if you fall in a lake and you're underwater, you can live but 3 or 4 minutes underwater without air. I believe you can't live 1 moment, 1 second without hope." This is a hope-building conference, and it's an opportunity for us to hope that in our lifetime we'll end the poverty that kills. We'll seek a world that loves each other so badly and so hard that we will be peacemakers and not war makers. I wish you well in the conference. I thank all of the participants for all of the energy and all of the effort to make sure that you've come to listen, you've come to learn, and you've come to take back ideas so that together we can have hope.